Like, share, subscribe. Happy Sunday. Today we addressing a very important topic. Something that's been on my heart all week. I've been really wanting to cook on this, but I wanted to make sure my spirit was right. I was in the right mood. So let's get right into it. We had the Espys Award Best Women's College Athlete the previous year when white woman Paige Beckers, America's sweetheart, her Caitlin Clark, when she won the award, she was invited, wine and dine. They rolled the red carpet out for her, showed it. It's all good. White woman. But when Aliyah Boston wins the award, when Aliyah Boston is nominated, has a more dominant season, winning a championship, player of the year, defensive player of the year, doing it on both ends, not just both ends. Probably one of the most dominant seasons in college, period. Wasn't going to be televised, no invite, disrespect. So my thing with this, and I want all my black women's basketball players, NBA and college, to understand this. This is not a knock to the white players. It's the powers that be, the system. They'll push, and whatever your preference is fine with me. But I'm saying pay attention to this. They'll push the sexual preferences and stuff like that into just same thing they did with the feminist movement early. Black man ain't had no power. White man was holding the white woman down. Black man was just trying to fit in and get it like the white woman and the black woman. Same way as today. Black man ain't had no power to be holding no woman down, but they'll bring the black woman in the movement like the black man has been oppressing a woman when the black man ain't had no jobs to not hire a woman in a specific field. Didn't own nothing like that. And then when we did own some, we always have been inclusive of our women. Our women always played basketball with us. Our women always ran with us. Our women, we was always in the same thing together. That Bonnie and Clyde stuff that they talk about on TV, that's real life. The black man always been going to take risks for the black woman to put her drip her down in fur, taking big risks, penitentiary chances, all that for the black woman. So it was never about oppression for the black man or the black woman, because the black man always saw the black woman as, something to be valued. It was the white man that held the woman down. So anything as far as oppression, not allowing women in sports, that was never our call to make. It was the white man's call to make, because they was running these industries. And we know we can get more specific, but we understand the point that I'm trying to make. So they would drag our women in the fight that had nothing to do with our dynamics and with the feminist movement. And they do the same thing with the new sexual preference, LGBTQ, all of that. Whatever your preference is cool. They'll try to highlight that as a struggle to fight and come together on in these leagues, or that makes you one, to make you kind of look over the fact that they're constantly just promoting the white woman, when the white woman has been maybe more um dangerous, more breaking, more violent, passive aggressive. From when you look at, we talk about Black Wall Street. Who calls that? A white woman lying. When we talk about Emmett Till, who calls that? A white woman lying. So the white woman lying on the black man, or tearing apart the black family, Roe versus what, all of that. That was a lie. Using the black, depicted image to pass certain things. And a white woman has always used blackness as a weapon against us to somehow harm us historically, but they still get included in minority beneficial situations and stuff like that. And they kind of like get a pass. It's like everybody will point the finger at, oh man, no, that's just the white man. No, the white woman maybe have been more dangerous to the black family than anything, because we know all of these historic situations. So don't always just align, because even within the LGBT, shout out Tariq Nasheed, when all the stuff was going on with Ed Buck and he was killing these gay black men and stuff like that, having them come to his house and all of that, it wasn't even a big story. So you can't say, y'all align in that type of situation all the time, just because of the preference. Because they always are selective with their own, but they'll bring you in to help fight, but it's not equal treatment. Sandra Bland, we ain't hear a bunch of them, going crazy, and all of the feminists coming out. So it's always biased, it's always slanted, and in boxing, it's one of the last sports where you don't just have a black athlete dominated like the NBA. Well, the black athlete is dominated, but it's more diverse. They can still, not the white American, but the foreigner, the European, the Mexican, and they'll typically go root and ESPN. They'll typically try to highlight. So if it's an option not to celebrate or give the black person, the black athlete, their full credit, they're going to try to go with the Lomachenko. They're going to try to push the foreigner to be greater, even if the foreigner he come in with he get a title shot earlier than any black fighter, whatever, and then get a loss his second fight and still be pushed pound for pound over fighters with 20 plus fights, multiple belts that are black that have been doing it and proving it. And he can get another loss and still be pound for pound, because that's the type of time these people are on. It's not just in one sport. And that's why you have to pay attention and be educated in propaganda, be educated in the big overall agenda. If they don't have a choice, they'll submit by as we see in the NBA. They just don't have a choice because the athletic genetics of superiority is just so far apart. But when it's close, like the WNBA and women's basketball, they will slight you every chance they get. Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird retiring, Sylvia Fowles retiring. All greats, but only Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird get on cover. Sabrina comes in the league, she gets instantly State Farm commercial. Hasn't proven anything on this level, and we understand their brands, marketing, all that. But I'm just saying, there are other more deserving. They'll call Diana Taurasi with 2 rings, longevity. We salute that and all that. But there are more accomplished black Maya Moore. They Cynthia Cooper does one thing. They try to erase her from history. Apart, the best on the first dynasty. They don't even put her in the new documentary. Disrespectful. If that was a white woman, they would have found some way to forgive her. We see Paula Dean back on TV. So we have to be mindful and pay attention. And shout out to Aliyah Boston for calling out the BS. And yeah, Paige did call it out the year before when she was invited and she was given the award. But pay attention in WNBA women's basketball. I'm calling you out for a change. If you really want to see growth in your league, you're gonna have to start giving proper respect to your black female athletes, because we are the culture. Anything that becomes popular that the world follows, whether good or bad, from drill music, all our types of music, basketball. They want to be Steph Curry, they want to be LeBron, they want to be Michael Jackson, Chris Brown, Lil Baby, Dirt. Whatever's going on that's cool, that is the thing that people are buying. Is Dre beats, they're usually attaching them to some type of black culture. And if you want this to be a part of pop culture, you're going to stop only pushing this white woman, this white image, because that's not going to draw the culture in. You're going to have to be fair and promote your Maya Moores. You're going to have to be fair the same way you was doing early on when everybody was tapped in. When we seen Lisa Leslie on every TV show, we need that same type of energy today. Some reason you've lost perspective and you're trying to just push this dominant white woman, dominant white woman. Where is Sabrina at? Mediocre. Sometimes she shows up, sometimes she don't. She shouldn't have been the All-Star starter this year. Why is Asia not getting this? And I seen something with Plum. Tom Brady gave her a jersey, and today she was all over ESPN screaming about this jersey, and they were showing the highlights from that game last night, and all they showed was Plum. And Plum is a baller, but dang, can we see former MVP Asia Wilson? Can we see that? The statue, South Carolina, that don't mean nothing. We can't get no promotion for her. We can only promote this. That's the thing. It's a bias in coverage, and it needs to stop. If you're covering women's basketball, whether you white or black, I see a lot of y'all, especially the big ones, and I might appreciate, and if I continue to see this bias when y'all talk about Sabrina, y'all carrying her with soft gloves, but then y'all turn around and talk, oh, Ariki, no, they not winning how they're supposed to, but she's consistently going. Like I said, if Sabrina's was consistently just putting it up and they weren't winning, it wouldn't be much. I mean, I could still say she needs to adjust something, or maybe they need somebody else to come in and be a one, but at least she was carrying her weight. Ariki is carrying her weight. Sabrina is not consistently carrying her weight. We see when she does, they tend to, get it tends to be enough, or they could at least be at the level of Dallas. So it's too much for me. I think Sarah Spain tried to shoot back and say whatever, her to make some type of slick comment, but any of that shouldn't be tolerated. And black women, y'all need to come together within the league and stop this whole unity thing because of a preference and stuff like that. Understand that y'all are not in this fight together. Understand that there is a difference, there is a separation. No matter how cool you are with these people, there is an agenda still being pushed in women's basketball, and until you come together and as a whole call it out, it will continue to be a favoritism towards the white women's basketball player, as we've seen all year with Aliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark. There was a debate, but if this was Paige in that same situation and the success Aliyah was having, it wouldn't have been a discussion, just like it was the year before. It wouldn't have. So don't be fooled by what they try to group you in together as, because they'll be constantly pushing them ahead of you, giving them all the opportunities while you sit back and, oh, we're together, we're one, we're fighting for this, we're fighting for that. And none of you should have gave them a pass for pushing Coop out of that documentary. And especially despicable that this happened on 50 years of Title IX. The white man holding women back from playing in sports and stuff like that. So it's despicable. This was the year to highlight all women's accomplishments, especially within sports, and they dropped the ball, and it was purposely, because if it was Paige, she would have been there. If it was Caitlin Clark, 100%, she would have been there. They would have treated her wine and dine, ace bottles, everything. And it took them getting called out for them to finally send the invitation. But Aliyah's response was, to be nominated for an Espy this year meant the world to me and my family. While I hurt finding out that they wouldn't be televising the category despite it being televised last year when Paige, white woman, won, and had no intentions for me to attend. It hurt more to see ESPN change course and invite me only after social media caught wind of it. Respectfully, I declined. Same thing. I had to call out. Go look at the video. Look it up. I was the one calling out ESPN. Um, it was a group I was in about the fantasy thing, and also why was no stats for the women's basketball. You can't. Y'all have to stop this double talk. And that's the first fight was that as the women as a whole, but the second fight is we need this fair treatment and fair coverage of the black women as a whole. So uh, I'm used to this. It's just another moment when the disrespect, erasure of black women is brushed off as a mistake or an oversight. It's not, and that's brightness of Aliyah Boston. Understand what's going on. Forget what these people talking about. Make them bow down and stand on what they say they stand for. That's what they need. Stand on what y'all say y'all stand for. We tired of the BS. New media new media coverage, new media type perspectives, all of this old kumbaya hold hands. We ain't trying to be friends with nobody. If it ain't respect for our people and what's going on, and it's this constant, hey, hold your own, ain't no love. It's love, but ain't no love until it's equality and fair treatment, and for the black women athletes. So that's what we pushing for women's basketball. Another excuse for why our milestones and accomplishments aren't a priority this time, even now 50 years after Title IX. To every black girl and every black woman, no one can take away what God has in store for us. You matter. You are valuable. You are a priority. You are seen. You are loved. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Aliyah Boston. Shout out to Aliyah Boston for those powerful words. And my overall message is this: we see the BS and we see the programming and we see the propaganda. We see the opportunities that these white women basketball players are consistently getting. I need all college, NBA, WNBA, all of y'all black women's basketball players need to stop being fooled, coming together because of just the preference and what y'all like, and don't get fooled by the BS. That's what I'm saying. Don't get tricked. Understand that it's a bigger fight at stake. It's a lot more money that's getting ready to come into this thing. There's no reason. I understand we had Candace Parker on last year, but we need that black face represented every year if it's a video game or some type of promotion. You know, if it's Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi, I want to see Sylvia Fowles till she returned too. I still ain't seen the respect for Asia. You know how they had a multiple covers where they had some legends and then they had a young. I want that proper respect from 2K for Asia Wilson. I want Maya Moore to be properly respected historically. I want Coop to be properly respected historically. I want I want not just those that are a part of the gender preference that WNBA always push. Oh, so and so Candace Parker with a wife, or so and so. I want the same thing for the ones this married to the traditional black family. I want that same type of respect and not that shunned out or just showing if the mother is a single mother. If she has a husband, that needs to be the same respect to that. It doesn't need to be shunning of anything or mis-highlighting of anything and only pushing one thing to the point where it seems like it's a specific type of, you know, you trying to push something. So let's get the same respect all the way around. If this woman is married to a woman, that's cool. You want to highlight that, Candace Parker, whatever. But make sure you highlighting the women like Maya Moore. This, don't shun her because she made a choice that she wanted to marry a man. So we need equal respect all the way around for all of the different types of diverse perspectives and preferences for black women. We just want black women saluted within basketball, and all of this biasness, the same way we see in boxing, cannot be tolerated in women's basketball because it's still, you know, a lot of our faces, and we just want that proper respect for our women and girls on both levels. So, nostalgia hoops, nostalgia sports and culture. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'm out.